Hồi năm này ai có mình như là hôm nay hồi
We need to organise a full He's probably up to Hello, Mr. Joshi. Thank you. Very happy. How are you? Well done. What the time, no? Yeah. You very smart. So this is your 40th birthday. This is my 40th.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
40th birthday.
Hi. How are you? This way.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Present for you.
I don't know where to do. I'm just going to put it down.
I'm sorry.
Many congratulations.
Thank you. Don't forget to
Hello.
I just have to find out.
कैसे इनको जी आपके यहाँ लाइक को ज़्यादा नहीं आए बाकी जी
वो कॉम्प्लीमेंट है सारे
No, because of my work with medicine
He's in Victoria Road.
every time I have
you know I only do this so I No, that's fine. Oh, I wasn't looking.
Right. No, not like that.
I will.
Okay, good. Shorter and more time. We're on second camera.
Practiced it.
Just like a story. Naima. You love We're going to need to just shuffle a little bit further this way. Yeah. And then remember to look at the camera.
Take a deep breath in. Now, stay here. Look at the baby.
Right, see how we did.
Say cheese.
No, look at the baby. No.
Say cheese.
Okay, you ready, guys? We're nearly there.
That's it, then we're off. Say cheese.
Okay, we've got a few seconds. Look at the camera.
Cheese. Everybody say cheese.
Oh, my nice life. Very good.
Yay!
What's your time it? Okay. Couple of seconds. Look at the camera.
Smile up through.
Okay, couple of seconds. One word should be out. One word should be out. Look at that. We'll be here. No. What's that? It's a very strange.
Hello, William.
Oh no, I like that one better.
Hello, William. Nice to see you.
It's nice to see you, sir.
What time are we on for 8:30? It's a bit scary. Yeah. What's that?
It's just like more camera.
Yeah. And then let's see. Look at the picture there.
Let's see if it's a good one.
Oh, it's lovely. Nice. Oh, nice. It's nice. It's nice. Oh, very good. Yeah, absolutely.
Esteemed and distinguished friends, welcome to the National Media Museum. Forget the Olympic Games, forget the presidential elections in the USA. This is the highlight of 2012. It is my father's 60th birthday celebration. It is a real pleasure to see so many friends from all over the world who have gathered in the auditorium this afternoon. Birthdays are celebrated to show us how special an individual is, and I'm really pleased that so many of you share in my sentiments as to how great my father really is. For those of you who don't know or recognise me, my name is Heman, and I am the only son of Manoj and Bhavna. I'm currently reading a PhD in Oxford and lecturing in general surgery, so I don't get to come back to Bradford as often as I would like. And I'm really excited to be here today, as I hope all of you are as well. Are you all excited? I don't seem so. Are you all excited? Little tap-tap. You obviously haven't had any sustenance, but more of that to follow. We like to do things a little differently in the Joshi family. And this party is a little late. My father's birthday was on the 10th of March. So this is slightly unorthodox, but we decided that he was going to be 60 for 364 days of the year, so we would be free to choose when we would have a party. So, in keeping with our trend of doing things differently, one should not be confined to their birth date and be free to party as often and when they like. The National Media Museum I fondly remember as being called the National Museum of Film and Photography. But my father's relationship with this building is almost 30 years long. He was involved with its establishment in the early 80s when Lord Belwyn awarded the museum to the city despite fierce competition from other cities around. He's very, very passionate about film and music and photography, as these arts really inspire the imagination and evoke the most deepest emotions. It is fitting, therefore, that we chose to celebrate his birthday here in this establishment, which he was instrumental in starting up and passionate about. So that brings us on to the itinerary for this afternoon. What we will be doing is we are very lucky that the Media Museum are allowing us to premiere a very special movie that has not been seen in 60 years and has only been seen by a handful of people, including the filmmakers. After the movie, the museum stewards will guide you down to the lower ground floor where we will enjoy a wonderful reception in the Kodak Gallery. After this, you'll be treated to more hospitality and more entertainment, and those of you who had your photographs taken on the red carpet, you'll be able to collect those pictures and keep them as souvenirs. There will be seating arrangements and a table plan, and I welcome you all to find out which film you will be the star of this afternoon, and the museum stewards will also assist you with finding your seats. I hope you have a very memorable and fantastic afternoon, and I'm dying of suspense, so let's get started with the movie.
On the 10th of March 1952, you were the first-born son to parents Nattu and Hira in Jinja, Uganda. Your grandfather Liladhar Meghji, he had become a successful and well-respected businessman, as agents for Singer sewing machines, clothes and textile merchants. On the 4th of September the following year, the same birthday as your father, your sister Jayashri was born.
Manoj was born at the peak of the Meiji era. When the business was booming, his birth was celebrated in the same way as Sri Krishna Bhagwan's birth. Ilaga adored his grandson and he used to play with his gondoro, which is a massive silver chain. He would whisper quietly in his ear. He was an extremely well-dressed young boy and loved to play with his pets and learned to whistle with his pet parrot. He also enjoyed pulling my hair.
Manoj, do you remember where you would go for walks with your grandfather? Huh?
When he started little bit walking, he used to hold the finger of grandfather Liladhar Bhai while walking towards the PG Vyas shop to buy the sweet.
Who would remember what you were like as a little boy now?
મનોજ તું 2 વર્ષનો હતો ત્યારે કારણનો આવ્યો હતો ભાઈની ભેગો ત્યારે મેં તને જોયો તો નાગડો કુગડો ફરતો તો.
On 23rd March 1955, your brother Sunil was born. As a teenager, you joined the YMCA and the Interact Club, the junior arm of Rotary. And do you remember what happened?
There was a multi-millionaire businessman called Mukundbhai Batiani, who was also a Rotarian. One day he took some of the younger members to the Crested Crane Hotel and bought all of them ice-cold Coca-Cola. Seeing Mukundbhai was impossible. However, he made time to mix with teenagers and to laugh and have fun with them.
Manoj, you witnessed how to remain grounded and how international charitable organizations were structured and the far-reaching positive effects they could penetrate to at the grassroots level. You spent a lot of time on the grass, didn't you, Manoj?
Manoj loved sports and competition, especially cricket, and played in the school first 11 in many inter-regional tournaments. It was a great achievement at the time.
In following years, younger sisters Meeta, Manila, and in 1969, Jyoti was born. It was also the year Manoj would go on a plane and head to Mumbai via Cairo to study. Do you remember this voice?
Hello Manoj, how are you doing? And I hope you have studied for your exam, which will be coming soon, the college exam and the university exam. And we want you to do very well so that you can graduate in the allotted. This is Parikh from USA. I hope you remember me as we met also in Chicago and number of times in Cambay. And I remember you with the mustache. Very few or none probably had it. So it was quite obvious that I can recognize you even in Cambay by the first name.
But you weren't known as Manoj in those days, were you?
Then we named him Dax, who's a character of one of the Harold Robbins' book. He also used to like that name very much. He was very fun-loving. He was spot on humor part. He was spot on, always. He was a very, very loyal friend. Almost 1 year and 10 months we were together. And in those period, I came to know about Manoj. And we just used to watch girls, and one of the days we saw one girl. And then that Panwala told us that she's known as the Cadbury of Kambat. She's the most beautiful girl of Kambat. Then Manoj said, then I should pataw her. And I laid a bet with him. I told him, no way you can. And then, one day, one fine afternoon when I was sitting at my house, he came with the girl and told me, now, what do you have to say? I went to Bazaar and bought, bouquets for them.
There was one particular characteristic of yours that fascinated everybody. Your hair.
Mucho
Manoj Joshi. In the meantime, back in Jinja, things had taken a turn for the worst.
When we were told in Uganda that we had 90 days to leave, we didn't really have much time to do anything else, like, gather all our luggage or all our belongings. Most of the luggage that we did manage to pack did not arrive. We had to just leave in the most minimal sort of clothes that we were in, together with a few bits of hand luggage. We were driven to Hobbs Barracks in Surrey, which is an abandoned RAF base from Second World War. Manoj was in India and Sunil was already in England at the time. Sunil would visit us at weekends, but we didn't know when we would see Manoj again, and went through months of bureaucracy to get him back. Sunil went to India to collect him.
You then returned to England to your new home in Derby and immersed yourself in your new life, your friends, and supporting your family as the eldest brother.
We didn't have very much, but we certainly had each other.
And cricket didn't stop.
Come on, Manoj, get your whites on, shake yourself. Let's have no idle behaviour from you, as you're going to open the bowling today. And if you behave yourself, you'll be opening the batting. Yeah, we had some cracking times. Manoj, do you remember that time we were playing and you said, I've been to Coventry? I said, what for? You said to buy a wristwatch. I said, you can get the damn thing from Derby. Very good. Anyway, I'm going to say again, Manoj, have a super day and then look forward to your 70th. Bye.
In 1979, you decided to get married and off you went with your mother Hira to find Bhavna. But it wasn't quite as easy as that, was it?
અને છોકરી જોઈતી તને ગમી નહીં કે ના ફઈવા મારે તેટલી બધી રૂચડાવાળી છોકરી નથી જોઈતી તો કે ના તો પછી મારે એને રોજ દાઢી કાઢવી પડે મેં કહું વાંધો નહીં કાઢજે તું તારી કાઢે છે એના ભેગો ભેગો એની.
He always said that she's really looking very beautiful and all that. It looks like that she'll fit in my family without any problem.
એની દીકરી મારા ભાણેજોયરા આવે ત્યારે મને બહુ જ અભિમાન થયું હતું અને ભાવનાના લગ્ન થયા ત્યારે ધામે ધૂમેથી અમે મુંબઈમાં જ અમારે ઘરે પરણાવ્યો.
On June 1979, Manoj married Bhavna Joshi.
I met him in 10th of June. Oh, I like him and I met him that day. I know I want to marry him. And 15th was my engagement and 19th was my marriage date. 30th June I was in England. Went out of Bombay in my whole life. So within 20 days I was here.
The newly wedded couple were settling happily into their lives in England. Manoj received news of a new job, transferring the young couple to London. But however, a few months later, on October the 12th, tragedy struck. And your father suffered a heart attack and passed away, aged 50 years old, leaving a big vacuum in the family.
It was our darkest days as a family. However, our mother was strong and told us we had nothing to fear. Manoj took on the responsibility as head of the family without any question and continued to look after his younger siblings. With his ability to look ahead, he could always see a positive and to push ahead when others had given up.
A few months later, news of Bhavna's pregnancy was a beacon of hope. And on 27th of November 1980, Heyman was born in the Derby Royal Infirmary. His birth was celebrated just like his father's, like the birth of Krishna, full of happiness and joy. And in 1982, a job opened with Stewart Pharmaceuticals in Bradford, where you relocated to be closer to your family in Derby. Later in the year, on 10th of November, you celebrated again with the birth of Megha at St. Luke's Hospital. Manoj, your first home was 87 Horton Grange Road, and you made some new interesting friends. See if you can recognize this voice.
Hello, Manoj. I first met you and Bhavna back in 1984 when I was a student at Bradford University, and I came to stay in your house. And when you realised that I enjoyed Gujarati food, there were quite a few invitations to come and eat with you and the family, and I even had to try and make immortally with Bhavna. I've just got such good memories of Bradford, and I know that you and Bhavna and the rest of the family were a significant part of this.
You're also keen to join Rotary again. However, it was not that easy, was it?
Manoj met so many Rotarians when I was in London. Nobody opposed him, and he was tried at that time. He wanted to be part of Rotary.
Manoj was determined, persevere, and succeed.
Then you met someone called Dr. Roy Thicket.
30 years ago, I was practicing medicine as a general practitioner. We used to get visits from representatives of the various pharmaceutical firms. A young man called Manoj started to come to see me occasionally on that basis. After we got to know each other, he started talking about things that I did, including the fact that I was a member of Bradford Rotary Club, and asked how for him to become a member. Fairly soon after, I told Manoj that I would be prepared to propose him as a member, which he was absolutely delighted about. Being a member then for several years myself, watched his progress closely and found out that my suspicions had been correct, and he turned out to be a very valuable member to the Bradford Rotary Club. I have always been impressed with the way he looks after his business and his family, and I regard him as a very good friend.
To keep your younger siblings focused and together as a family, you decided to open Paradise Green Post Office on Clayton Road and G. Mistry Chemist on Skinner Lane and Yorkshire Pharmaceuticals.
Manoj guided me into my first job and set me up for life at the same time, supporting me with any help required. He is truly inspirational, and his dedication to serve his family and friends is uncompromising.
Since arriving in Bradford, you have managed to integrate with all aspects of society, from business and commerce, health and social services, to film and sports. How did you have the time?
My father made the time. He has the ability to integrate, mix with people, whatever their background, and learn from their experiences. He's a people's person. He has always been involved with various charities and fundraising committees from as far back as I can remember, making a difference, contributing positively to the well-being of society, improvements and development. How to be the best you can be with humility is what motivates him.
Bhavna, you have shared 33 years of marriage with Manoj, more than half his life. Why? What's so special about Manoj?
Making me everywhere where he goes and make me feel welcome, easily. He's taking care of me very much. I'm always relaxed and I enjoy the fun and company. After the age of 50, he wants to celebrate every day. He wants to enjoy his life every day.
I feel I'm lucky. He chose me.
Bhavna, one personal question. It's 33 years now, you can tell us very honestly. Is it true that the ladies love your darling Manoj a lot? Is that true?
Oh yeah, ladies after him, with the work colleague or for whichever meeting he go. He is in a lot of committee meetings. Everywhere he goes, all ladies after him. My husband is extremely charismatic. That's why I married him.
Manoj stayed in pharmaceuticals and continued to excel. There was one particular colleague that has missed you, Manoj.
Hey Manoj, Steve, how you doing? I'm looking to still get quite a lot of expenses outstanding from 2000 to 2000, which doesn't surprise me because you were never good at doing that sort of thing. I remember, I think we met first time when Astra merged with Jenica, and you were quite a legend in Yorkshire, and I was quite a good manager, and I always wanted to test a legend. So I remember we had a small product, which was called Amias, and we had a giant product, which was called Restaurant. So I swapped you over, and then sure enough, that vertical line of failed growth once you are on that. Now we then launched another product called Cresto. I remember on the training course you turned up with 20 or 30 prescriptions from doctors already in your pocket ready to go for launch day. And you showed the sales director that and nobody could believe quite what you've done. And I think when you're the best at what you do in any arena, that's quite some accomplishment in life. You will always be a legend.
Your goal was to be the best you could be, and you were.
I first met Manoj in 1982. I was sitting at my new desk in the cardiology department at Bradford Royal. Suddenly, the door opened. I looked up to see a giant moustache on legs walking towards me. It held out its hand and said, "Welcome to Bradford. It's good to have you working for me." And that was the start of a beautiful friendship. However, I soon discovered that I was not the only consultant working for Manoj. He had almost the entire medical staff eating out of his hand. His drugs may have been dodgy, but the force of his personality and charm meant that there was hardly a man, woman or child in Bradford who was not taking at least 3 of his products. He was everywhere. No hospital event was complete without Manoj pulling the strings in the background. He was utterly unique. But Manoj did not confine himself to just one life. He usually had 2 or 3 other jobs going on at the same time. For example, during one of his visits, he even sold me a dog. But don't get me wrong, you could not meet a kinder or more generous man. When it came to fundraising for the cardiac department, no one gave more support than Manoj. We all owe him a great debt, and I am proud to have him as a friend. Have a great evening, Manoj. You deserve it.
Manoj, we know you will never retire, because there's one partnership that has lasted for more than 20 years, and we all hope and wish that it will never end. You and Chaudhary Bhai.
As a family, we are now scattered all over the world. However, we still make sure to celebrate happy occasions together, like Raksha Bandhan. We are all so proud of each other and the life of our loving mother.
There's also one more person who's brought a lot of change in your life, a lot of joy and happiness. Kinnari, isn't it?
I came into this home married to someone we both loved. You shared with me your heart and home and loved me as your own. In these last 5 years, I have grown to love and appreciate you, and I am so happy to be part of your joy and happiness. I do look forward to a bright future with all of us together.
Want to see what your friends think about you over the years?
He was too good a friend, I would say. He was loyal. Had he not been loyal, we would not have been friends. He was stubborn with me only, not with Nitin or Pradeep or anybody. Both of us were of the same nature. Even I was stubborn, he was stubborn. And certain things, we used to disagree.
All my best wishes are for him. Best health is the only wish I can give him. He has the rest of the things with him.
On his 75th birthday, he should celebrate that in India. Or rather, if all of us are there, we will celebrate. You guys celebrating.
Manoj, it doesn't seem like turning 60 has stopped you doing anything.
Thank you, sir.
Listen.
Could I have another? We get a double then. Excuse me, treatment. 2 more whiskies here, please. What time do we get to Tenerife?
It's about 2 hours, sir.
seem to be unusually quiet. Come on, tell us one thing. How is it that Daddy's precious little loving daughter could spend so much of time away from him?
Well, because I'm always up to something and the apple doesn't fall too far away from the tree. It's been really difficult keeping this under wraps, and hopefully you've had a wonderful surprise, and everybody who's participated in, I couldn't have done it without you. I'm very lucky to have a fantastic father and spend a lot of time with him in every country that I've been in, and incredibly supportive. He respects tenacity. This 60th birthday is not just a celebration for him, it's a celebration for all of us, because he's somebody that's demonstrated that life isn't really worth anything if you don't have wonderful friends and a supportive family. Those of you who've supported this crazy idea with your help and ideas, I can't thank you enough. I hope that you've enjoyed this Mara Mari production. My special thanks goes out to our crew in India. You guys are amazing.
Manoj, there are so many other people who love you, who appreciate you, and would have loved to be with you here right now.
Well, very happy 68th birthday. Happy birthday, Manoj.
Happy birthday to you.
Birthday, Mota bhai, Manoj bhai. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Manoj mama.
Manoj bhai, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Manoj bhai.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Manoj bhai.
Happy birthday. मौज कर बस चल मौज कर.
Happy birthday, Manoj bhai.
Happy birthday, Manoj bhai. Many happy returns of the day, Mota bhai. Wish you very, very, very healthy long life.
Hey Manoj, this is your life at 60, and it's been a wonderful life with so many people loving you and sharing in your joy and happiness. Isn't it? Cheers to you, Manoj, and cheers to many, many more years of great health, happiness, peace, and success. And thank you all, dear friends, all of you who have shared in Manoj's life. Good night. Here's wishing you an informally fabulous afternoon at the National Media Museum. 3 cheers to Manoj. Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray!
Hey dear Dada, happy birthday to you.
Another big round of applause, please. So, Manoj, Dad, Father, this is your life. Would you like to come up on the stage, please? This is your life, Manoj. Congratulations. A large VHS cassette. How do you feel? Very happy.
I feel very humbled.
Thank you very much. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that whet your appetite nicely. We're going to head down to the Kodak Gallery to have a little bit more entertainment and some food, and hopefully we'll get a chance to catch up with everybody and enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Thank you.
It's a fair exchange. That's what I think. Although, would you accept? I should probably make it reappear somewhere amazing to be a great I don't know. Where would be amazing? Obviously, I've got on your finger would be good, but I can't do that. How about on my shoelace?
All the sporting equipment as well, isn't it? Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first time ever I've experienced palpitations in my heart, blood really thumping, and I'm excited, and just to prevent any unexpected disaster, I even got my personal consultant cardiologist here amongst us. Dr. Morrison, thank you very much for coming. I've been asked to say a few words which actually is not my trademark. I don't like to say a few words, I like to take my time. What I want to say really is that my life has been truly blessed, and I invoke the spirits of my ancestors. I invoke the blessings of all my elders, and I invoke the good wishes and kindness of everybody present here this evening, and many more who have not been able to join us. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for making this event so special, not only for myself, but my family, my brothers and sisters, who, as the eldest in the family, have never ever crossed my word, never ever argued with me, and have always obeyed my absolute word with their command. I thank them. This event is also a recognition for every single person who is present in this room, because they have contributed to everything I've done. They have facilitated, they have supported, and they have shown that extreme kindness and generosity for me to be able to stand here and thank you and celebrate what we are enjoying thus far. There are obviously so many people that I have to acknowledge and thank and appreciate. And if I were to do that, you will all be included in that, and feel yourself being included in it. If I don't mention your name by specifying it, it is a gross inadequacy on my part. It does not diminish your contribution at all. However, I'm 60 years old, and there are several people who have been rock solid in my life. And those people who are not members of my family. the number one person that I want to thank and acknowledge is Mr. Chaudhry Inayat Khan, who is not being able to be present here this evening because he is attending to urgent and important family business in Pakistan. I have worked with him in my care home business for the last 22 years, and I cannot express the kindness, the gratitude, the support and generosity of that man, Mr. Chaudhry Inayat Khan. I want you to really understand, because that gentleman and his family are present here today, have really excelled themselves in supporting us. And I mention that because it encompasses my life. Why does it encompass my life? Because Mr. Chaudhry Inayat Khan originates from a place called Mirpur, which is considered to be part of Azad Kashmir. I originate from India. He is from a Muslim faith. I'm from the Hindu faith. I'm from born in Uganda, in East Africa. We come here in Bradford. We work together as business colleagues, as family members. We've never argued and we always respect each other. And that is a true example of us working together without any boundaries, without any prejudices, without any discrimination whatsoever. And I hope that can replicate and can multiply not only in Bradford but everywhere else. And I hope that we can do that. I also want to recognize and appreciate a gentleman called Dr. Yasmin Sayed. He's been a neighbor of mine and he's been a GP in Bradford for a long time. But he's always been, his children have grown up with mine, and we work together as families and friends and as brothers. And he's been always there, present, whenever I needed him. That is again a demonstration of cross cultures, different faiths working together, living in harmony and peace. Finally, I want to thank the members of the A team. The A team is the creme de la creme of Yorkshire. They're the people of great wealth, generosity, intellect, and above all, kindness. And if I don't mention you individually, please excuse me, but the A team is sitting on my right, led by Nikhil Singh, MBE, Dr. Sean, Ashwini Gautam, Rajab Singh, Balbir Singh, Jastor, Bob Nazran. I mentioned everybody, and those who are not here, I acknowledge them. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard enough of me. Any event, any organization cannot exist or thrive without untelling and commitment without people. And tonight is no exception. But I want to extend a special and very warm welcome to special guests who traveled the longest and farthest to be with us just for this evening. That are members of the royal family of Nigeria. Will you please stand up so that you can... I could not publicize that because it is a private and personal visit, because they have made a special trip to be with us this evening. So I thank you very much, Your Highnesses. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I've said enough. I hope you continue to enjoy the evening. And I once again thank you for the generosity of your time and coming here this evening and making everybody's life so much happier than what it would have been in the past. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Invited dignitaries, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm greatly privileged to be here to celebrate and be part of Manoj's 60th birthday celebration. On behalf of the AIT, we give me great pleasure to congratulate and convey our good wishes on this very happy occasion. I have known Manoj for over 20 years, and I have always found him very helpful, dedicated, committed, reliable, and very honest person. He has been wearing so many different hats, as you've been witness since 3 o'clock. And I'm really amazed at him to see that how he gets the time to participate, to contribute, to effectively bring changes into the city he lives in. The 3 things I can say about Manoj is that his dedication, his commitment, his expertise, and secondly, is always helpful, reliable, he will never let you down, and thirdly, he doesn't want anything back at you. Whatever he contributes, whatever he does, he will not ask anything back in return on that. So any contribution, any commitment, any sort of expertise he brings to the city, to the people, to the organization, to the development, to the economy of Bradford, it's all free of charge, and he's not expecting nothing back, not even to say, Manoj, well done, thank you very much. So could you give a really big round of applause to Manoj for these 3 things. I'm also greatly honored, as I said, it's not time for long speeches, you have a long day, the dinner is ready. The A team actually, which consists of people from the diverse community, the business people, the professionals, the educators, the academics. And Manoj is part of that team. We have been socializing for over 10 years, and it gives me great pleasure to invite everyone, the members of the A team, and present Manoj with the present, the present, and the good wishes we want to convey. So would I ask the members of the A team to assemble and come here so that we can all present Manoj with the present wishes as well. This way. Could we have the ladies as well, please? Members of the ladies, everyone here. The families as well. Manoj is a very committed member of the A team, and this is a group which just socialize. We meet regularly and to promote the cultural aspect, the establish our links with the communities, and Manoj is very profound and wonderful member of the A team as well as his contribution to every organization. He has been a real asset within the A team, and we are absolutely delighted and honored to be here, to be invited, and to be part of the celebration amongst all of you today. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Without taking any further time, from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to congratulate and convey good wishes and very best wishes and very happy returns of today. And Bhavna and the whole family who has done a tremendous job in organizing this event, they really ought to be congratulated. We have seen the movie. It's a really success, and I would ask Manoj to be released throughout the UK. It's going to be a really super hit. So thank you.
What I'm trying to say is the job we have of the team saying, how do I find the time? Well, he's been making sure that he's given me a 47-inch telly. How the hell am I going to find time to watch this now? But that's a great bit, and I'll find time to watch it. And thank you very much indeed. I'm really, really, really honored. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Happy birthday!
Manoj, thank you very much for inviting us. And the family, thank you so much for organising such a special day.
Happy birthday, Manoj bhai! Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Manoj!
Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Manoj bhai!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Manoj! Happy birthday! बार बार दिन ये आए, बार बार दिन ये आए, हजारों साल याद Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Happy birthday!